Hello, everyone! It's time for Driftwood Tavern presents. I
Yes.
am your, I am your host, Mike Fadum, also known as Ambassador Kel. I am your senior community manager, and I am joined by my partner in crime from another video game mother. That sentence got away from me. Everybody,
I
welcome. Go ahead.
sorry, that one it tripped me up for a second. I'm like, but I followed your logic on that, and it's not wrong.
You're like my
Cause
counterpart
yeah,
on a different D and
both
D
both
world.
both games got Wizards of the Coast, and then
Hmm?
and then yeah, no, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Hi,
if
I'm
I was gonna say if I had glasses and slightly fuller hair, we would just look identical.
hi, I'm Treavor Bettis. I am the content designer and writer for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and I'm here to talk about some D&D and have some fun. I hope y'all in chat are down for that.
It just occurred to me we should get a bunch of D&D licensees like you, Neverwinter. I don't know who else we'd grab, but just get us all together to do a streamed D&D game sometime. That would be fun.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty good. Yeah. There's a couple of them out there. I mean, we could get the license, or we could get the crossovers in there. Get some Dead by Daylight people in there. Get some
Oh
Destiny
yeah.
crew in here. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool. Get some Fall Guys people in there. They have to play
Uh,
their characters from Fall Guys though.
that
Just
actually
all
just
they can do
reminded
is
me
go
that
"Meep" and fall over.
that just reminded me that the Destiny D&D stuff came out today, and I'm gonna have to go spend a lot of money after the stream.
Oh
Uh,
no. I probably will too, and I haven't played that game in a long time.
I have a lot.
It's one of those games we shouldn't talk about Destiny, but whatever. It's one of those games that
Hey, it's got D&D in it now.
that's true. It relevant. It's one of those games that like it's kind of like Magic the Gathering. The less I like, the bigger the gap is that I've played it, the more I feel just unreasonably behind if I try to get back into it.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I did take like half a year break from it because I was just playing other things, and I
Yeah.
got back into it recently, and it was like the first game of Onslaught that I was like, okay, no, I remember why I played this game as much as I did. This game just feels good, and now
It
I get
just
to
has
have a
the
little
best.
beholder man.
It just has the best like for first person shooter controls I've ever encountered. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just plays good. But anyway, Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see. You control Destiny with your hands, and Vecna has a hand. So you've got this Vecna
Oh
stuff
man,
that's kind of
that
happening
was
right
an
now.
incredible segue.
Thank you. I just rolled right on in there.
Yep, just barreled your way in.
Tell me a little bit about what's going on with Idle Champions, and you're tying in with the new Vecna books that just came out from Wizards.
Yeah, no, we actually have like a lot of really cool stuff going on in the game right now, and it's not all stuff that I'm working on, but the things that are specifically for me is, yeah, we got to bring the new pre-written adventure Vecna Eve of Ruin into the game. I went and got my shiny little collector's edition one of it over the weekend. Um, and it has been a blast bringing this thing into our game and getting to have one of the most evil characters in Dungeons and Dragons in our game again, because I'll get to that later, but this is actually the second time we've had Vecna in the game,
Ooh.
because we decided to jump the gun a little bit on it, but it worked out.
I mean, it's not jumping the gun if it's. No, you jumped the gun.
To be
How,
fair, when we did it, we didn't know an adventure was being
exactly.
written.
How do you guys? But it leads to an interesting question. How much like lead time do y'all have between like? Do you find out when Wizards announces the book? Do they give you a little bit of a heads up?
It depends on a lot of things. I probably can't say exactly when I
Oh, for
got
sure.
it, but like I have had the book for a bit now, enough that I was familiar enough with the beginning parts of it to start working on the adventure itself. So yeah, we have the book with enough lead time to be more than comfortable. That we're ready to go by the time the adventure comes out.
Nice. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be an interesting cadence to be trying to keep up with. I mean, with books it's a little better. When on Stowe, when we were trying to keep up with the TV show, that was insane. But
Oh my god.
but trying to like keep up with making sure you guys' releases are timed at the same time as Wizards and stuff.
Yeah,
It's got to be an interesting schedule.
it is, and like, yeah. Sorry, you actually threw me off trying to keep up with a show, and I'm like, oh my god, I could not do that.
Oh, yeah, we tried for a year and then we gave up. And we
Yeah.
said we're doing our own stories and we'll throw some characters in maybe sometimes.
That's fair. Yeah, because I mean, it helps that we are like directly in communication with Wizards of the Coast very often. So, we are able to get these ahead of time to read through it. Like it's not like as soon as I get it, I'm writing it. Like I do have enough time with it that I can sit down and read through it and start making notes of like, okay, well, thinking about this in terms of an idle game, what parts work, what parts don't, what in this kind of thing. But one of the other things too is we don't want to spoil the book,
Yeah.
which is a weird thing to say when we're like, yeah, we're putting the whole adventure in the game, but at the same time, I love writing these adventures and having these characters and everything, but I also don't want to ruin anyone's time at the table.
Yeah.
So like there's things
I got to
here and
imagine that you're like most of the audience for Idle Champions are people who play the tabletop game.
there is actually a good portion of people who don't like they're
Really?
just like numbers go up, that is my dopamine and that's what I'm here for. And I've talked to those people, and I totally understand them. And I'm like, I'm like, just so I know, you have no interest in seeing anything else D&D. No. All right, cool. That's you.
We've got
all
that
right.
crowd on Neverwinter as well, and it's always funny. Like,
Oh,
it's just like, yeah, it's great. It's good that like more power to you guys. Please come and play our game and watch the numbers go up.
yeah.
But it is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, I am the kind of nerd that, like, when I get into a game, like, I'm doing everything with. I mean, hell, like, I have back here 3 lore books of Final Fantasy 14 because I played it one time. And like I have all the Destiny lore books and everything like that, and so like but there are still, I'm sure there's still plenty of games that I have been into and not dove in any further into, and so I get it, I can respect it.
Yeah, it's whatever flips the hyperfocus switch.
Yeah,
You can see my Final Fantasy VI wall in my house.
Oh boy. But yeah, for the folks that do play the game like, at their table and stuff, like I don't want to like ruin something that is in there that especially something that like the DM is like probably so excited to happen and reveal. I don't want to one of their players to be like, oh yeah, I already knew about that because I play this idle game. I can imagine that wouldn't feel too good. So like there's several reveals in this Vecna adventure that like as I read through it, I went, I'm not going to do that. And it wasn't, I didn't immediately know what I was going to do, but I was like, I know I'm not going to have this moment in the game to ruin someone's experience.
To appear in the which has got to be interesting because then you've got to write. Do you then write your own story, or do you? How do you approach? Because there's going to be those moments that are the giant twists that aren't necessarily giant twists.
Yeah, I
put them in.
I mean, luckily, I do have a background in novel writing and outlining big stories and stuff. So like, yeah, essentially when it comes to that, I am approaching it more in the way that I do a novel where I'm got this idea and now I'm like, okay, I need to shape an outline around this. And luckily I already have a lot of pieces of that outline because the things that I'm not changing, I can just plug in there and then just go, all right, what things can I weave through this that aren't that. That is my own thing that still fit with these pieces I already have. Honestly, that's been some of the most fun with this one because like I said, um, uh, uh, there's oh my god, sorry, I totally lost my thought. I got a message and my brain went beep. Oh,
Happens to me all the time.
like I said, we had already done a Vecna adventure. So when I don't know if folks out there remember, if you remember, like 2 years ago or something, Wizards of the Coast was like, here's our updated Vecna. And it was him with the gold and everything, and like the cool like metal plating on his head and everything like that, and they just kind of released the image. They did a stat block on D&D Beyond, but they didn't really say like
Anything else?
yeah, anything else. And so we at the time, Erin M. Evans was the content creator, was the not content designer. She had my role, and they had decided that, okay, you know what, we're gonna take this and we're gonna do our own Vecna adventure. So she got to write her own completely original thing that happened in the canon of Idle Champions. And thing is, the end of that adventure, they kill Vecna with the Sword of Cause and destroy the Hand and Eye. And like the book, the Dungeons Master's Guide is very clear. If someone attuned to the Hand and Eye, i.e. this Vecna, is killed with the Sword of Cause, those items are disintegrated and destroyed forever. And so it's like, okay, well, I mean, it's kind of done. So one of the problems that we knew coming into this, because we knew, like, we don't want to abandon what Aaron did. We don't want to just retcon it and be like, actually, this is what happened.
He was hiding under the water the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, as a DM, like, I do know that it is very easy that I could have just been like, well, actually, this happened, and the Hand and I are back.
Somehow
it's very
the Hand and I returned.
yeah. Okay. Fast forwarding real quick, when we
Yeah.
announced the Vecna adventure, I got to write the blog for it, and I started it off with, somehow Vecna has returned. I mean, I had to.
Of course.
But so that was really one of the first hurdles when it was coming to it, because we're like, okay, we want to keep this in the same canon. We have this Vecna who's already been defeated by the champions. What do we do? And I wanted Vecna to still be terrifying, because that's kind of the whole point of this book, is that the end all be all is ready to mess up the multiverse.
Yeah.
And so I got working on an idea and came back to my producer. I'm like, okay, stick with me here. There's another Vecna. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, what? And so what we have in our game is that our Vecna has already been defeated, and it has just been kind of biding his time trying to get his power back. But in another multiverse,
I knew it was going to be multiverse.
Well, chat, here's the thing, chat, and I know you're gonna be like, what do you mean another multiverse? So this is the fun thing with Dungeons and Dragons. Multiverse in Dungeons and Dragons just means the same universe but different planes. So like Eberron and Toril, like they're in a multiverse together at the same time. So the way that we worded this is that it is another multiverse, so that we're getting the multiverses. But
Yo, dog, I heard you like multiverses.
Exactly. So this is a Vecna who has already won. This is a Vecna who killed Kaz before he could, separate his hand and eye. This is a Vecna that just straight up hasn't known defeat and has already conquered his multiverse and decided he wanted more.
So he's coming to us.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this to distinguish it, we refer to this one as Emperor Vecna. And it even helps because the official artwork for him in the book is different than that 2022 artwork. He's got kind of more of a hood and crown thing going on. So, I felt like Emperor Vecna kind of had some weight to it.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Endeavor in the chat goes, is that into the Vecnaverse? Across the Vecnaverse? Beyond the Vecnaverse?
Oh, I do like Beyond the Vecnaverse. That's pretty good. Oh, I might steal that for a name for one of the adventures. So yeah, we've got 2 Vecna now. Well, actually, sorry. This is a joke that started in a meeting, and I made it canon in the game. 2 multiple Vecnas are referred to as Vecnae.
Oh no.
So yeah, but when V Muse, our partner manager, cracked that joke, and I went, nope. That's going
now.
in dialogue. That's going in dialogue. And so yeah, I have our Vecna be like, actually, I prefer Vecnae. But like one of the things that doing these 2 Vecna was fun with was that I still got to have this really super imposing, terrifying power that is Emperor Vecna. And then I got to have essentially a toy that was our Vecna, because it's like, well, I'm not going to kill him off. I'm not just going to replace him with another Vecna. I can do fun story stuff with this. So I actually have it that through a series of events, our Vecna got busted down to an 8th level adventurer. All power stripped away, just some undead dude.
Oh my god.
And now he has to travel with the champions across the multiverse.
This is the most comic book thing I've ever heard, and I love everything.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, I that's the kind of stuff that I really do love doing in a D&D game. Like, at my home D&D games, I refer to them as Saturday morning cartoons. Like,
hell yeah. Now I really want to play in your games.
They've got the vibe of like, this high, epic, awesome, world-ending thing, but also, because it's my players, there are gonna be some fart jokes. And so bringing kind of that vibe into Idle Champions, which was already, it's already a silly game. Like inherently, it's an idle game. They're always fighting something, no matter where they are. There is an inherent silliness to it all. So just kind of dipping into that and doing this whole weird multiverse, Vecna's just some dude now kind of thing, just kind of felt right.
Yeah, I love it. It reminds me a lot of, there was an episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where there was like, they went to a dark future where Shredder had actually conquered the world, and his reaction was like, I hate this. Please take this away from me. I don't want to rule the world anymore. Which was great.
Oh god, good show.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've kind of turned this other Vecna into like a comic relief sort of thing. We have quest dialogue that comes up before every area that, for the majority of Isle Champion's life has just been defeat the enemies. You've got this. And, it's just something like, like that.
Yeah.
I pitched the idea with the campaign before this of actually having a character associated with who's saying that.
I like that.
So like in Turn of Fortune's Wheel, I had Mort, the talking skull, as the quest caller. And so the beginning here now, Mike, here's the fun thing that I did. I knew I wanted Vecna to be the quest caller in this.
Right.
But for the first adventure, I was like, well, Vecna's not with them. I can't have him as the quest caller. And I went to my producer. I'm just like, can I have someone else? Can we switch who it is in the second one? And he's like, okay, sure, but like, who's gonna be the first one? I went, Sergeant Knox.
I did not know this, and
so
that's awesome.
We have Sergeant Knox as one of the main cast, and the adventure itself starts in Neverwinter.
Nice.
And so, and V talked with y'all's people and everything. We have backgrounds in Idle Champions now that are based on y'all's Neverwinter.
Oh hell yeah! That's
so
awesome.
Like you start off in Protector's Enclave, and I have Sergeant Knox in all caps go Protector's Enclave. and like you make your way through the city. You go up to meet with Neverember, who I need you to know how much it pained me to write that guy as a good guy, because y'all just decided Neverember's just some cool dude and not a jerk.
So my wife just ran a short campaign for her students. She's a middle school teacher, and she had a couple of kids who wanted to play, so she ran a short campaign for them, and they she ran Lost Crown of Neverwinter or whatever it's called, and so she came home one day and she was like, why the hell is his name Never Ember? He's the king of Neverwinter. What? Why?
Yeah, well, here's the fun thing for you. He's not even from there.
He doesn't even go here.
He doesn't even go here. He was the jerk open lord of Waterdeep for until they were like, you're embezzling how much money? And he's like, never mind.
It's an unacceptable amount of embezzlement. You have to only embezzle this much.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, freaking Neverember. But yeah, we got artwork from Neverwinter in there, and like we got to go into Never Death Graveyard and stuff like that.
Nice.
And so like it was really cool as someone who like, played Neverwinter and everything, to like go to the art team and like, oh no, I want it to look, I want this to be over here a little bit because that's how it is in the game.
Well, thank you for taking such good care of our little pocket of Dungeons and Dragons.
But yeah, no, this adventure has been an absolute blast to go through. We have just the first one out right now. So it's two parts. It starts off in Neverwinter, and then the next adventure you're going into the Underdark and stuff. So we're going to be doing releases throughout the year with that and Turn of Fortune's Wheel. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of my writing everywhere. So go play the game and read it. Please read it.
I know you've been through this because I went through it with Champions. It is wild and bizarre when you turn on a game and see something you wrote. Like it's that feeling of like, this reads really familiar. Oh wait, shit! I did this.
Yeah, no, it is. It's so weird too, because like, I was playing Turn of Fortune's Wheel. I had it up on a screen while I was working, and I was stuck at a boss, and this has happened to me so many times in Idle Champions before, where like there's a boss, I'm like, oh no, my formation's not right, or I don't have enough devotion or something like that.
Yeah.
And it hit me. I'm like, you have no one to blame right now but yourself.
You literally
put this freaking boss here. And that was a really funny moment for me to have. And I do I'll be honest, chat, I do kind of enjoy putting ridiculously hard bosses all over that game, and people being like, why is this adventure so difficult, and me just going like the first adventure of Turn of Fortune's Wheel, I went into that with essentially going like, I'm gonna make the boss rush adventure of this game. Like almost every tough boss we've ever had, going in the freaking adventure, like one after another. And the
players just look at the screen and go, Trevor, why do you hate us, Trevor?
The thing that I loved was that so many people were like, it was so cool, but also, why? Did you really have to put a Devour and like in the third area? Like, come on, man.
You killed Lauren twice, so.
Oh, okay. Well, so that.
Are you a mean DM, Trevor?
No.
Are you one of those people?
No. In fact, I would actually say my biggest fault as a DM is letting players get away with too much.
I don't know that's a fault.
But no, what Lauren's talking about there, and folks in chat, if you don't know, that's Lauren Urban. She's our awesome content director at Idle Champions, and she played Orkira on Heroes of the Plains, and her character is in Idle Champions. And when I started doing the Turn of Fortune's Wheel, that's the Planescape adventure. when I built out the cast for it, I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm in charge of this, and I think these characters will work. So I'm gonna put a bunch of my friends' characters in it. So I put Freely, who's B. Dave Walters, in there. I put Havilar, who's Aaron M. Evans, and Lauren's or Kira character, and I can't remember who else I have in there right now, but my brain is blank. But the thing is, with Turn of Fortune's Wheel, part of that adventure was if your character dies, they come back as another multiversal version of themselves.
Oh, okay. So you
And
get
so we
to
just
slightly change it, make
Yeah.
the emo version of your character, give him the hair in front of the face.
We decided to have some real fun with this, because one of the things that the Idle Champions community had been really asking for a long time, and yes, this was mainly so numbers would go up, was the ability to like get feats that could change a character's race or their class or their alignment or something like that. And so we decided to do two of those where, we in the story, we would kill our characters and then bring them back as Orkira, who is normally a good aligned dragonborn, died and came back as a evil aligned Aarakocra.
Oh,
And
nice.
so we've put out skins for the characters of them in their new forms, put out feats and stuff so that they actually count as those things. I've now killed Orkira twice, so sorry, Lauren.
Those
But
are
also,
numbers.
not sorry.
Gotta bump those numbers up.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's not something that happened in Idle Champions before. Like, character champions never died in the story.
Yeah.
And in the first adventure, spoilers, I TPK'd the entire group. So that felt pretty cool.
Neat.
Yeah.
So the first episode of this is out right now on Idle Champions, and then the second part, when is that coming out?
Ooh, I don't know if I can actually say that.
Oh,
It is
okay,
coming
that's okay.
out later, at some point soon. I don't actually even know. I'm gonna go check because I want to know. But like I said, we're kind of going back and forth. The way that our release schedule works is right now we're doing this new style of event. So that's the first 3 weeks of a month, and then the last week of the month, an adventure comes out. So the next one would be in the end of June, is when the next adventure, whether that be Turn of Fortune's Wheel or Vecna, would come out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, it's really fun that you get to do this, and I am really excited to play through the opening part of this and see all of our Neverwinter stuff in there.
Here's the thing. I will tell you this, and I will tell chat this. As much as Paisley says, it is further into the game because we do have like a progression system.
Oh yeah.
You have to complete 100 adventures to get there.
Okay. So I'll get there.
But Mike, you and I are friends, so maybe we can make that sooner.
That's called nepotism, everybody, and it's okay. Well, cool. What else have you got going on these days in the world of Idle Champions? Anything else new and exciting coming down the pipe?
I mean, right now, tomorrow, the next event starts. It's gonna be Dragon Down. Fun fact: all of our events are named after holidays in Waterdeep because we're big old nerds.
Yep.
And so tomorrow with that release, we're having our new champion, who is Duke Ravengard, who some of you may recognize from Baldur's Gate 3.
Year.
Yes. So, I will say that our version of him is based more on the Descent into Avernus pre-written adventure one. But because we were like, well, I mean, we gotta, right? We did do a skin that makes him look like the one from Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. But, because of where Ravengard is and whatnot in Baldur's Gate 3, we decided for, ability wise and equipment wise that we wanted to do the Descent into Avernus one more.
Yeah.
But I did, and here's the thing, I did put a couple fun little things into the equipment flavor text for Baldur's
Oh.
Gate 3. So it's like one or two things, but
One or two things about, never trusting your own son, that kind of thing.
it got better, maybe, depending on your playthrough.
It did. I played it good enough that he, became a better person.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, so he's coming out. We've also been doing this new thing where with every event, we're having a new champion, but we're also having a reworked champion because we have over like 120 something champions in the game, and we've been going for like 7 years. Sometimes we need to fix things and update things so that they work better.
Sometimes you design something, 7 years ago that was a brilliant idea then, and now you look at it and go, "Oh, that's useless."
Yeah. So we're reintroducing Esmeralda from Curse of Strahd. We're updating her abilities and stuff. And yeah, we're kind of playing around with like doing a new character and a reintroduced character. And seeing if maybe we do 2 new characters, maybe we do 2 rework characters. So we're playing around with that. But that stuff's been, I've felt like it's been going really good, but I work for the company, so I'm biased. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on in the game right now, and this is the thing. Again, chat. I work for the company. I'm biased. I write the game. I'm pretty biased. I will say, if you're just looking for a game to have off on the side and hang out and play, there's a lot of content that you haven't played yet in this. So it's free.
I mean, as an idle game, that's kind of what it's designed for, to be the game
that
you put on when you're in, that boring meeting that your boss makes you go to. I mean, in your free time.
I mean, it's not lost on me that like I put all of this effort and love and care into the story and the dialogue, and there's literally a button in the game that makes it so you don't have to see any of that. So like I get that like I'm not your target market, but like if you like idle games and numbers going up, play the game. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I played it honestly, before I worked here, so
honestly, there's so many times, and I'm not blaming any of you chat, but there's so many times that people say like, I don't understand how this mission works, for example, and the answer is, you need to read the thing. If you skip the thing, then of course you don't understand how it works. You need to read the thing.
I mean that's fair, and I will be honest, chat. I'm in that group too sometimes. I am 100% in that group. But like that's the thing. Like the dialogue and stuff isn't really pertinent. Like I'm not telling you how to play the game or anything like that, or where to go. Because again, you got a screen and you got your champion, and enemies are gonna come and they're gonna fight, and then it's gonna, and no matter what, it's gonna go on to the next thing.
Hi, Kiri, and yes, we do blame you. I miss you, buddy. Yeah, okay, cool. So so if people are looking to get into Idle Champions, what's the best way to go about and do that?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Well, I mean, you can download the game literally anywhere. Like you go to Steam, go to Xbox, go to anything like that. Yeah, you go into space. The ISS has been playing it up there for years. God, if I actually ever found out that would be hilarious.
Oh,
it's just like, oh yeah, no. Well, I'm looking at a space rock. I got my formation over here on the screen.
It's a heads-up display on the helmet while they're on an EV walk.
But yeah, so yeah, it's free. It's free to download. Like I said, I played this game before I started working here, and it was literally because my sister-in-law was living with us at the time, and I was talking to her, and on her TV was Idle Champions, and I saw some characters. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, isn't that from that one stream? And she's like, yeah, I didn't know what they were from. I've just using them in my formation. I'm like, I'm gonna go play this dang game. And so like I went out to the living room and I got my laptop and I downloaded it and I started playing it. And back then, that was all that was really all the stuff that we had available to do, is just download the game, start playing it, and see how it works.
Yeah.
But now we have so many avenues to help out with this, because it is a complicated game. I'm gonna be honest, chat. I don't know how half the stuff works because I'm not smart. I write the words. I don't know numbers.
I am so happy to hear another community manager admit that, because
Oh my, yeah, no,
gosh.
but that's the thing though. We have people who do.
Mhm.
And so our Twitch channel and our YouTube channel are like the best places to go. And plus, like your chat here, like we got a bunch of cool people that hang out there. I've seen a couple already that are from our community that have been in the chat. I see J-Dog in here. And so in these streams, we have like Mars's guiding hand. We have Garwar's guide to everything. Our community manager Sean does I think he's still doing formation save. I haven't looked at. Oh, you know what? I have the technology to look at a
You
schedule.
have the power.
Yeah, because I'm awesome. But all of these shows are made to help people with the game. Oh, he's got New Game Plus. Oh yeah,
Okay.
and I think, yeah, no, there is still a formation one. So like Mars's guiding hand, that show, Mars, who does work for us now. He actually started off as a streamer that we contracted to do a show. And now he works at the company. He helps out not just with modding, but like talking with the developers of the game, and like, here's how me as a player would respond to this and what I think is cool.
I love when companies are cool enough to pull in players for roles like that.
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
need that resource internally.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, Mars has been invaluable, like 100%. And he has a very wide and deep knowledge of this game. And so when that show's usually in the morning, people can go in there. Feel free to ask him questions about like, hey, I just started in the game. What should I do and everything? And he has the game running on the screen. He's like, oh, hey, welcome to the community. I'm going to show you what you need to do, and just go to it and put it out on there for you and walk you through everything.
That's awesome.
Garwar's guide. Garwar is another person who is just, oh my God, so much knowledge of everything in this. And their streams are more focused on something. So like tuning into that is kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna see what Gar is talking about today, and try and focus on that. So like Gar might have something where it's like like, oh, we're gonna talk about tanks today. We're gonna talk about support
My brain
champions.
immediately went to World of Tanks. When you said that, and I was like,
yeah.
wait, what's in your game?
Mike, don't give out our next crossover, man. We're gonna put a tank in the game.
I mean, Star Trek already did it. World of Tanks, Star Trek, it exists.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so good. And then yeah, our community manager Sean has formation save and events where he has the ability to like he's like, hey, you need help with your formation, send me your save, I will pull it up on the stream and show you what you need to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I know we can do that, but I've never considered doing that before. That's a really interesting idea.
Yeah, it was a really, really good idea. And J-Dog in the chat pointed out a community Q&A as well. That's one where Sean and Mars they hang out in a stream for, how long is that dang show? 2 hours. Just answering questions from chat about Idle Champions and probably some other silly stuff, but we let them have fun.
We have fun here.
Yeah, actually, it's off this week. We have another show that is just absolutely ridiculous. That I'm like, what? I didn't know that we could just do that. So next Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, is going to be the 3rd episode of Build It Lego D&D, where Sean is slowly building the D&D Lego set.
Oh my God.
And I'm gonna let you know, chat. Sean is new to Lego. He's new to building Lego. It's taking him a little bit. But you know what? That just means you're gonna get more fun hangout times with Sean building Lego. I have given him crap about it. Because essentially it was just like, yeah, I got through bag 6, and I'm like, back 6. How many episodes you got? He goes, 2. I'm like, how long are they? He goes, 2 hours. I'm like, you're what? Sir! I built a 7-bag Lego in 2 hours just the other week, and I hadn't built one in years. Come on, man.
Well,
But
I guess it depends on whether you're building, if you're just doing the focused build stream, or if you're like, hey, chat. Yeah, that's.
I mean, yeah, and that is totally fair. I didn't have a chat to talk with it. I have built a Lego on chat on stream before, but yeah, no, that is totally fair. That is totally fair.
That would be a fun thing to do. You've opened my eyes to a world of possibilities of D&D streams that I could do here.
Yeah. I mean, like the really cool thing is that we have gotten the ability to do some really awesome fun things with this Twitch channel, and Lauren is the one that is in charge of it and has spearheaded a lot of this stuff. And on our YouTube channel, I mean, like, if you want to, because we're not live right now, but like if you're curious what these look like, or you're like, oh, I missed Gar's thing about this, our YouTube channel has all of those backlogged and everything. And they've got all those shows. We've done a bunch of D&D actual plays with B. Dave Walters DMing it with some ridiculously big names playing in our game as their characters. So I highly recommend checking out the Isle Champions YouTube channel. There's a lot of good stuff. Oh yeah, and my face is on there too. So if you want to hear me talk more, I'm there too.
That is awesome. Well, I love that we have gotten Neverwinter and Idle Champions as such close collaboration partners now over the last couple of years. It's really, really fun. And it's meant that you and I have gotten to hang out on a billion of these streams, which is honestly the best part. So.
It's fun. I'm always happy when I see your name on my guest list.
All right. Well, I think that's probably going to wrap us up, but if anybody has any couple of questions, anything you want to throw about Idle Champions or about Neverwinter, I can try and answer those. We'll hold on for a few more minutes. Fallout Amazing.
And if you don't, it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine too. Fallout Amazing. Having our own characters as companions, I assume you mean like having your alts be able to pop in as companions. It's a really interesting idea. I think the way that would have to work is it would have to be like there's a specific type of companion that you can then drop your alt's costume on. Like you wouldn't get to have your other character with all their powers running around with you, but like
you're not getting your mimic tier in Elden Ring in this game.
Yeah, but you could buy like like a tank champion, like it's generic tank, and then replace your alt over it. That might be an interesting idea. I will pitch that to the team.
That's fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if we can do it. I think they might be able to steal some tech for Star Trek, for we did have the Mirror Universe version of your captain, but I don't know. So I will ask about that. I think it's an interesting idea. Let's see. Yama 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 says there should be cross promotion for both games. If you play one game, it should unlock stuff in the other game. That's a cool idea. Right now, we're doing cross promotion of like you can win prizes for one game.
Yeah,
the other game, but
I forgot to mention that. I don't know if that's still. I think that is over. Yes, but so yeah, one of the things that we did. One of the things that we did with Neverwinter recently is we did a giveaway in our Discord server, which is also I forgot to mention when it comes to like starting off in Isle Champions, that's a great place to go to because there is a whole community of people with vast knowledge of this game to ask for help with. But we did a giveaway where if you entered to win on the Discord, and the winner got the classic Mimic familiar in our game and a Mimic companion in y'all's game.
Yep.
So we mimicked it up.
Yeah, that was really, really cool.
Oh, I see someone in the chat says I'm doing Index CK. I'm doing Split the Party 2 now. Woot. Yeah, no. Oh boy. I'm hoping it's going well for you. That is a tough adventure.
Let's see. Yuri Panda Waves. That's a good question. Really,
okay.
Yeah. Deep thoughts on that one.
Oh boy.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. I think that that probably about wraps us up then. So Trevor, we've talked a lot about where to find Idle Champions. If people want to know more about you specifically, the handsome man standing in front of me, where would they go to do that?
Well, first of all, I'm sitting. I mean, yeah, you can follow me on socials at the Trevor. There's an A hiding in there. I'm not very active on there anymore. Kind of stepped away from social media, and honestly, kind of feel better about my entire life.
Probably good for your mental health.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find me on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Cine Games, on Tuesdays for Champions Psychology, where I talk with Mitra Jordan about mental health and gaming, and then on Thursday for Idle Insights, where I talk to really awesome people in the D&D community about a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Most recently, actually, this episode is going to replay this Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific. I had Devin Rue on, the fantasy cartographer who's done stuff for Critical Role and Magic the Gathering, and a representative for Lambert House, because we're doing a charity right now with them. You can buy a familiar in the game, and it goes towards Lambert House to support Pride Month. And then, yeah, the outside of everything else, you can listen to my podcast, Writing About Dragons and Shit, with B. Dave Walters, Aaron M. Evans, and we talk about writing and probably a whole bunch of other stuff, and also a book club that is, it's a thing. Yeah.
Cool. Lego Taylor, we know about the Astro Pants. I'm sorry, I should say the Space Pants not dropping. I don't know how the bug report was deleted. That definitely wasn't something we did, but we talked about that in our meeting on Monday, and we're looking into it. I believe there may already even be a fix for that. Yeah. CJ DJ Canada wants to know when we'll be adding an Oberth mage to the game. I don't know how you would have a wizard that's just a frisbee strapped to a canoe.
What?
There's a starship in Star Trek. You could Google it. It's the Oberth class.
I see it.
It's a frisbee strapped to a canoe.
It really
is. And people love that ship, and I don't, and it's become a long running meme.
That is.
Yep.
Time was spent on that.
Time was spent on that ship. Yep. All right. Well, Trevor, thanks so much for joining us. Everybody else, thanks so much for joining us too. I'm gonna find us somebody to raid.
Hey,
Trevor, while I find us somebody to raid, you got Tight 5 stand up back. Do you want to drop on us?
So who wants to hear about the time my appendix got removed? Let's
it's all right.
see.
I found someone. You're safe.
All right. Good. It's a really funny story, though. Y'all are missing out.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, folks. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time. And I'm going to say bye-bye a bunch of times, because apparently if I stop the stream before then, it just cuts me off in the middle of a sentence from like 5 minutes earlier. So bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I don't know what's going on. Bye-bye.